right now. Let's make sure everything is the way that it's supposed to be. What's up? Hope everybody's doing good. Hey, if you feel like life is jumping you right now, you're not alone. You're not alone. I was just talking to God before I got on stream like, hey, you think you could ease up a little bit? You know, you think you could ease up just a little bit? You think you could take it easy a little bit? So, hey, if you are feeling like they got away with it, they didn't. If you're feeling like nobody sees the struggle, somebody sees, and it's going to pay off. Just keep going, take breaks, hydrate, make little moments for yourself to have fun and enjoy yourself. Don't let it get you down, man. Don't let it get you down, for real. Life can be heavy. Life can be hectic. Don't let it get you down. New Spider-Man announcements. Christianity is being mocked on TikTok very heavily. And Power Rangers. Power Rangers announced in Fortnite. It's going to be a good day. Let's get into it. Let's make sure we check volume. Make sure everything is everything. Make sure. Check. Is that really how low that is? Is that really how low that is? Okay, no, we're good. I'm about to say. Spider-Punk movie announced. I didn't know it was the dude from Get Out playing those characters. I didn't know that. I didn't know that Spider-Punk was the guy from Get Out. That's interesting. Listening to this Offset interview on the Joe Budden podcast. Shout out to Joe Budden for hitting that $1 million mark, man. Offset is not trying to answer any questions. New Venom animated movie I'm seeing announced. I was just talking about this. Part of me feels like these companies are almost oversaturating the market a little bit. Now, I would watch a Spider-Punk movie. But part of me feels like they're just throwing ideas at a wall and seeing what sticks. Now, I think that if you do that enough times, something will stick. I feel like a sneeze is about to happen. I feel like it's about to happen. I'm trying to, let me see. No. No, we're good. I'm not gonna lie. I haven't been keeping up with everything Marvel. I have not been keeping up with everything Marvel. I missed WandaVision. Is that a... What is that down there? Part of me feels like they're oversaturating the game. And when this all started, it was like... When let's go back to when the Marvel Cinematic... No, you know what? Let's go back to really what got me into Marvel movies heavy. Let's go back to Blade, man. Blade is in a hiatus right now. But Blade was what started it for me. Blade was what started it for me. I was like, dang, Marvel is moving like this. And I'm hearing back in the day, Marvel was needing new, reasons to get people to the theater, and Blade was a really a drawing factor. What is this? So fast forward, Avengers is done, and I'm not gonna lie. What in the world is this? Some of that Marvel Cinematic Universe lost me a little bit. I ain't like young Aunt May. I didn't like young Aunt May. I didn't like Iron Man helping Spider-Man with his things, Dang, what's going on over here? Let's check it out. So while I will be watching this new Spider-Man series, it's like a lot of these companies, it feels like they're just running out of ideas, man. They're running out of ideas. Almost to me, it feels like DC is. I still got to go back and watch some stuff, but especially the animated stuff, the Batman stuff I'm seeing from DC is looking real good. Definitely interested in a new Spider-Man and animated Venom series, but it's like, all right, bruh. Maybe I need to go back and watch WandaVision, but I just couldn't. I can't get into all the spin-offs and all the extra stuff. It's like, all right, bro. It's almost, you know what I feel like is suffering from the same thing. Star Wars. I feel like, look, new Spider-Man announcement, new Venom animated announcement. Definitely going to be tuning in, but I kind of wish it was a little bit more centralized. There's a ton of stuff to tune into. What is going on down here? I just wish it was a little bit more centralized. A little bit more centralized. I do wish it was a little bit more centralized. That's my main gripe here. Like, bro, I don't need 70. I'm not gonna lie. I turned into one Spider-Man series, and it was cool, but it was like they put him in a predominantly black neighborhood. And I was like, all right, that's cool. But then it's like it's a little heavy-handed, It's a little heavy-handed. I'm not gonna misuse the term woke. I hate how mainstream America has taken the term woke and they turn it into a cuss word. And I have to say this. I really do think it's a comment on how racist and crazy mainstream America is, that a word meaning being aware of racism is turned into like a cuss word almost. I do think that is a sign of the times. But I remember I tuned into one Spider-Man and it was like, all right, bro, this is look, I'm black. I don't need super ultra mega black in like. I remember what was it? Spiderwick Chronicles. Oh no, I don't even want to be up here. Oh snap! And the car flipped. The car flipped. No, I don't want that. See ya. I was watching Spiderwick Chronicles. All right. You know what I hate? I hate it when black characters are handled. Yeah, I won't even say black characters. I hate it when entertainment involving us is curated, directed, written, all that stuff by exclusively people who are not us. The slang is going to be 10 years behind. The references are going to be weird. It's going to be all like, okay, perfect example. I'm watching Spiderwick Chronicles with my son, and he's read the book, so he's read part of it. And so we tuning in, and it's like, all right, they made it a black family. Okay. And then they start listening to some of the cringiest hip hop I've ever heard in my life. I think once you hear the word jive in a hip hop song, that's when you know things are off the rails, bro. Like, this is not. And so I was like, all right, this is super cringe, but maybe we can keep going. And so we keep going, and now it's like, all right, one of them is a thief. I don't remember that in the book. Maybe it's in the book. One of them is a thief too. It's like, all right, it's a black family, super cringy hip hop, and one of them just has a stealing problem. It's like, all right, bro, what are we doing here? So I'm hoping that at least someone who's a little bit tapped into black culture is going to be working on this Spider-Punk movie, at least at some point, you know what I mean? I'll take that. Hey, for anybody watching, tracking visor, Fury assault rifle. Is this a gold? I'll take that. Gas station. I thought somebody left a car over here too. Moving on to the next topic. It's a trend that I've been noticing. It's a trend that I've been noticing on TikTok specifically, but in mainstream America specifically. They be mocking Jesus left and right. And they would never dream of doing anything like that with Islam in a million years. They would never dream of it. But they be playing with Jesus crazy. I'm not rocking with it. In TikTok, every 5 minutes on TikTok, it's somebody like, am I getting okay? Hold on, I gotta log in. All right. I can talk in a minute. I just gotta, I'm trying to pod and play here. There we go. Now I can get back to podcasting. Sorry about that, y'all. But yeah, on TikTok, for anybody watching, and I'm gonna go over here to your stuff too. I'm gonna do this too. I'm gonna do this just so you know. Let me pause this. They be mocking Jesus left and right, all throughout mainstream America. And you want to know what I think one of the worst mockeries of Jesus is? Watching all these racist, hateful, xenophobic, all these like super crazy people claiming to be Christian. Like right now, all the Trump supporters think that they call themselves Christian. No, y'all aren't, bro. The Bible says be kind to immigrants. You're out already. You're already out. The Bible says treat people how you want to be treated. You're out already. It's really, it's not shocking because I've seen the movie Idiocracy and that's pretty much what's happening right now. But it is crazy that this many people are confidently just claiming to be part of something that clearly has very clear guidelines that would disqualify you. You know what I'm saying? And what I notice is, it really is just a mask for like narcissists. Like a lot of the worst people I know, they claim to be devout Christians. Like, I'm super Christian, God is first in my life. Really, a lot of the people I notice do that. They're doing it to okay, all right. They're doing it to have some sort of like shield, like, see, I can't be a bad person because I'm Christian. But yeah, so the latest thing I noticed on TikTok is there's a bunch of posts of people just mocking God, mocking Jesus, dissing Jesus, all this stuff. And shout out to the homie Yeshua, you know what I'm saying? One of the first people that I read, one of the first stories that I read of a person of color who was assassinated, taken out due to standing up to a corrupt system, or standing up against a patriarchal system that was like condemning women without any fair trials, stuff like that. I gotta shout out that. Shout out to the homie Jesus for being one of the first examples of people I read that was like, hey man, you can have a personal interaction with God. You don't have to go to a middleman, any of that stuff. Hey, I stole your car, bro. Yeah, I stole your car, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Hey, and it's crazy. I'm sitting here talking about Jesus and I just stole that guy's car. That's kind of messed up. All right, I'll spin back. You want your car back, bro? Where'd he go? You want your car back, bro? Where you at, bro? Where you at? I don't know where he went. I felt bad, you know what I'm saying? I want to at least give him a chance to get it back in blood, you know what I'm saying? But I don't see him. I don't see him. What they got going on down here? I know he's salty. He thought he was safe up on that mountain. Oh well, he'll find another one for him. Did I just see somebody parachute down? Oh no, this is not good. Oh, I done got myself in a situation. Oh, I done got myself in a bad situation. I done got myself in a terrible situation. What? Why in the world did I just do this to myself? I'm trying to fight through, though. I'm trying to fight through. Oh, yo, that was smart. I'm not even gonna get mad at that. I'm salty I even got myself in that situation. And, hey, it was Master Chief. It's all good. But, yeah, it was, what I'm seeing is, Jesus Christ Superstar. And they had the lady who plays, she was in Wicked. The black lady from Wicked. And she's playing Jesus. And people are up in arms, and it's interesting. I read this article, and it was like people are up in arms because a black woman is portraying Jesus. And I want to make it clear, as a black man, that's not the issue. That's not the issue. Y'all will sit here, so many mainstreamers will sit here and cry on the left and the right. So many and you know what? I don't want to keep talking over these loading screens because that visually is not exactly the most entertaining. So I'm gonna wait a little bit until I'm gonna time it a little bit. But what I notice is mainstreamers. I'm trying not to say descendants of colonizers. I'm trying not to say that. So many mainstreamers in America today, on the left and right side of the political spectrum, will steal stories, concepts, imagery. The music industry, Kendrick just did it too. They'll take the crown of thorns. They take from the story of Jesus. They'll get online and debate about Jesus and hate on the Bible, talking about it's blind faith, blind faith, blind faith. Even though the Bible says, prove all things, hold to what is good, which is akin to the scientific method, by the way. They'll get in there and do all this stuff regarding Christianity, but won't give us any props. They'll get in there and diss all Christians, but will cry saying, hey, I want to be able to live how I want without being persecuted. And you see South Park, they got a profile picture as Jesus, they going crazy. And it's weird to me because there are so many things that mainstreamers will go into an uproar about. Oh, you misgendered me? I'm going to go into an uproar about that. Oh, you talked about Donald Trump? I'm going to go into an uproar about that. I'm going to get real offended. I'm going to get mad about that. Oh, you talked about this faith system. Oh, you talked about Islam. Okay, we're gonna get in an uproar about that. They would never ever play with the Prophet Muhammad like that. They would never ever play with. But for some reason, it is culturally normal to just mock Jesus. And I wonder when Christians got so soft. When did that happen, man? There's a lot of weird trends out here that it's like I'm sitting back watching. I ain't never seen so many grown-ups who are just hypocrites. Complaining about their way of life and what they want being infringed upon. And they're the first ones to disrespect other people's ways of life. The first one. I think it's ridiculous. Oh, dang, okay. Alright, I like that. It's weird, man. It's a weird trend, especially in Hollywood. In Hollywood, there really does seem to be a concerted effort to just be anti everything, to use, like, all right, here's what I noticed. The worst people, when cornered, like somebody will lie to you 50,000 times. Behind the scenes, they'll do the worst things they possibly can. In the music industry, they'll have upside down crosses. They'll mock Jesus left and right. But when you call them out on it, all of a sudden, they don't want to be seen as that. They'll have upside down crosses. Oh, no, I'm not a Satanist. No, they won't come out and say that. A liar. Who is this just sitting here? Who is that? What is this? Oh, I don't want any problems with him. No, bro, leave me out of it. I don't know what you got going on. He seemed like he got some issues or something. I don't know. I don't want any problems with him now. I do not want to smoke with him. Oh, it's these soldier dudes. I don't want nothing to do with them either. Superman's call. I don't know where that is. I just want the hypocrisy to stop, man. Oh, I knew that was on the way. I knew that was on the way. I could feel that one. I want the hypocrisy to stop, man. Stop sitting up here getting all sensitive when people do things that you don't like, and then turning around and being hyped to disrespect other people. Like, I really feel like it's either in the water or there's like a basic emotional empathy block in America. And I rebuke all that. In Jesus' name, amen. This is one of the first streamers you're going to hear. They'll talk about Jesus, but ain't nobody finna pray on stream. Hey, I rebuke ignorance, narcissism, hatred, all that stuff in Jesus' name, amen. Hey, I'm praying for America, all that racism, I rebuke that. I bind that in Jesus' name, amen. I lose healing. I lose wealth. I lose justice and protection over everybody listening now or in the future. I hope things go well for you, as long as you ain't hurting anybody, you know what I mean? But yeah, I hate that. I hate that. America's supposed to be founded on, like, the Pilgrims wanted some land and to slaughter, like, Native Americans to kind of steal their land. But another thing they wanted was freedom to worship how they wanted to worship. And so it's really weird that so many people in America are hyped to persecute. And see, that leads to another conversation. To me, as an educated black man, it is illogical to believe for 1 second that a society built on the graves of 65 million Native Americans, a society where segregation was legal like 60 years ago, it is illogical for me to believe that a society with all of that going on will be considerate and empathetic. No. The reason I think for a lot of America's suffering is because we are sitting here with the descendants of people who wanted black people in chains. And even more than that, people who lynched black people. You can see it when you start talking about any kind of injustice or any kind of persecution. Mainstreamers hate it, just like back in the day. And what else has happened is mainstreamers have adopted the mantle of being persecuted. They sat up there and for generations persecuted everybody who didn't look like them. And now they've come up with reasons to get mad, like, I'm being persecuted if you don't let me be racist. It's all a bunch of hooey. You see what I'm saying? I'm on the side of, like, critical thinking and having respect for other people's cultures and also studying other people's cultures so you know what's going on. I don't like this ignorant, weird phase that we seem to be in where people are speed running, just being terrible humans. I'm not with that. I had to do it. I had to do it. Sorry. I had to do it. I'm not with how people are so hyped to just be stupid these days. I'm not with that. I'm not with that. I don't like that. I don't like how anti-intellectualism has become the new intellectualism. It's like as soon as somebody says something that's offensive or does something, or like, hey, look, a card. I'm using the method right now for those who don't know. As soon as someone does something ignorant, it's celebrated. And people speaking up for common sense and critical thinking and basic respect is like hated on. I don't like that, man. That's why I be keeping to myself, to be honest. That's why I'm trying to build a community of people who aren't into just trying to be ignorant, you know. But yeah, as a Christian, I don't like how people just mock Jesus all the time. I don't like that. I don't like that. Hey, you don't like it when we talk about your racist president. You don't like it when we misgender you. Well, put some respect on Jesus. And if you're gonna talk about, look, the Bible says prove all things. It also says don't get into arguments and debates. But if you're gonna talk about the homie, and if you're gonna talk about the book, if you're gonna talk about the tribe, at least get it right. No, Christianity is not about blind faith. It's not about giant cathedral ceilings. It's not about trying to find little extra people to pray to and all that. It's not about that, bruh. It's not about that. Study, bruh. It's about self-awareness. It's about not going out like that person right there. It's about, like for instance, you read Jeremiah or you read Exodus. There's so many little cool things to absorb while everybody's sitting here arguing. I don't know why you out running around, bro. This is definitely OP. This is not fair. Oh no, I'm chasing after you. I'm chasing after you. I've been in this situation before. You know how terrifying this is? She's trying to get away. She's trying to get away. That's the only reason. Only reason. I'm gonna go for it. I'm going for it. I got a little distracted. Can I get it like this? How I transform back? Oh no, I'm out. I'm out. Oh, he's gonna come right after me. And I'm looking goofy trying to run. Where is he? Oh, he ignored me. I got lucky on that. Is he chasing me? I think he's trying to chase me. No, he gone. Sheesh, that was kind of close. That was kind of close. I didn't like that. Is that another one? How do I get out of this? Oh, okay, okay. I'm definitely grabbing this one too. It's definitely not fair. It's definitely not. This is definitely not fair, for sure. It's definitely not fair. Oh, you can only keep one. Okay. That's okay. But yeah, I hate this new wave of people speed running, just being as ignorant as possible. I don't like that. I don't like that. Okay, so. Oh yeah, and I hate. You look, if you want someone to respect what you believe in, as long as you ain't hurting nobody, well then, I don't know how all these grown folks are missing it. But you need to have that same respect for other people. If you want that for you, if you're walking around talking about respect how I feel, respect what I want, then you need to keep the same energy. And it really seems like we are living in a time where there's a ton of grown-ups who are just essentially little spoiled brats in grown-up bodies. I should have been able to get that. I should have been able to. It's all good, though. We're going for a W this time. I'm not helping this time. I learned my lesson back then. I learned my lesson. I ain't helping. What else we got going on? I'm going to look up some stuff real quick. Let me get to safe ground. I need to get a car, and I need to park up somewhere where I can get on my phone. Yeah, I mean, park up somewhere where I can get on my phone. What's this? Well, shoot, I don't want to deal with that. There's one in the parking lot too. Huh? I don't want to deal with that. Okay, so I mean, don't mind if I do. That was almost about to be bad. Did y'all see that? Wait a minute. Where'd they go? Where'd they go? Y'all you really want to battle it out? You really want to battle it out? That's what I thought. Oh, no, they transformed. They trying to get away. Dang, how'd that even go down? Oh, that was just somebody random. That was just somebody random. All right. So a rapper matchup that I've been wanting to talk about while we wait for this next match to load. We'll do this in a minute when this loads in for real. Let me make sure I covered everything before I talk about this. Oh, Power Rangers and Fortnite. That's gonna be a short one. Hey, we'll see how it goes. Fortnite is just absorbing everything. Some of these picks that Fortnite makes, I don't really like all the way. I don't like Goku no scoping people. I don't like like Batman with a pistol. I thought I saw Batman in here. That could have been a mod or something, but I don't like that kind of stuff, man. To me, I know it's supposed to be fun, but it kind of cheapens the character a little bit to me, a little bit. I'm definitely gonna be picking the Red Ranger. You know what? I would pick Zach too. I would pick Zach. Shout out to the original cast of the Power Rangers. Shout out to everybody who remembers Tommy jumping in the Zord and just beating everybody up. That was crazy. Tommy just jumping in the Zord, kicking them out of the Zord. That was wild, man. The Green Ranger, White Ranger time period was wild, man. Wild. The Red Ranger special, fire. So it's between, and it's weird because Zach was the Black Ranger and he was black, but they used to have him pop lock. So it was like a little bit racist, but it was like cool. But I'll be picking the Red Ranger for sure. Maybe no, either Black Ranger or Red Ranger. The Blue Ranger was cool though. The Blue Ranger was cool too though. Billy, yeah, man. They show used to have that brother on there pop locking though. And fun fact, did you know that the actor who played the Black Ranger is actually missing a finger? He kind of covered it during the show, so you can't really tell. But yeah, that was pretty wild. Okay, so an interesting rapper matchup. I also heard an interesting story from DJ Clue, I think it was, of 50 Cent's crew. Just talking about how things were back in the day. I might get to that in a minute. He was talking about how he got an unreleased Biggie verse. And it's just cool hearing, with all the casual stuff going on out here, it's cool hearing people rooted in the culture speak about the culture. Because right now, if you go on TikTok, you go on whatever, it's all these people who really don't know anything about hip-hop speaking on it like they know it. But as somebody who started writing in 2009, got into the industry, saw all this stuff, lived it, you know, was homeless, and I was sleeping at studios having to make it. I really come from this, you know, so I really take the elements seriously, studying the culture. So I really like hearing stories like that. But okay, a rapper matchup that I don't think I've talked about on stream. So, who is a better artist, JID or Kendrick Lamar? Now, my take on JID, he's going on a run right now. That EP he dropped, I think it was Animals featuring Eminem. Crazy. And I'm not one of those people who just says crazy just because. I'm not one of those people who just says crazy. You know what I mean? And look, I just came across somebody on TikTok that, before we get into this, somebody on TikTok that I want to shout out because I've been analyzing music. Yo, shout out to the Sovereign Network. The things that they're doing with the internet right now are really cool. Another one of these people that I think has a great idea, but I really hope protects themselves. I really hope the Sovereign Network protects themselves because their idea is really cool. Make sure you go check out what they got going on. Here we go. Drew Verde Music. I was scrolling across TikTok and I finally got my algorithm tuned to indie music. I came across this guy's music, and he made a very bold claim saying he was a better rapper than Joyner Lucas. And this kind of ties into the JID versus Kendrick thing I was talking about. But let me make sure I stay focused for the clips. So this guy claimed that he was better than Joyner Lucas at rapping. And automatically on TikTok, they just gonna hate. And it's mostly from people who've never written a verse in their lives or anything like that. But I think that one thing that I can bring to the table is real, actual analysis. Like, I study battle rap. I study bars, study lyrics. I write myself over 300 songs so that are released. Go look up Nave Noblique. And what I notice most, just like when I was bringing up my previous topics, is people very, very much skim the surface of things and then act like they're experts. I believe there's a term for it. And it's like you get a little bit of information about something, and then all of a sudden you feel like you're an expert. Where is it? I mean, I could go for it. Do I got a car? I need a fast car. And you got a fast car. So anyway, this guy, claiming he was a better rapper than Joyner Lucas, everybody was talking crazy. Everybody was talking crazy. But I actually sat down and listened to the work. And lo and behold, he was writing on that song at a higher level than Joyner Lucas. People hear speed. Now look, when I hear a speedster, I'm not gonna lie, I automatically, you know what, I'm not even want to deal with that. I don't even want to deal with that. When I hear somebody rapping with a double time flow, such as a Kendrick Lamar, such as a Nas, such as a JID, which we'll talk about in a minute, I automatically almost start being more critical, because people who rap fast oftentimes don't punch strong. To me, I'll give you points if you're rhyming during your 16 at the end of your bars. And if you're rapping fast, I might give you a couple extra points. But it's what you do with that speed that makes me judge if you are actually good at rapping. You see what I'm saying? And there's a lot of speedy rappers who are masking a lack. Ooh, dang, that was crazy. I didn't think I was gonna get that. Who are masking, dang, both of them, who are masking a lack of depth with that speed. And this guy is not one of those people. When you're listening, and I can even break it down. Joyner Lucas, for instance, can rap super, super fast. A lot of his punchlines, I think it's called similes, but a lot of his punchlines are like, they need the word like. They need the word like. What is this? Hyperburst pistol, I will take that. And this guy I was listening to, when I hear you write, and you don't need to use the word like, I think he said, look, I want to make sure I get this right. Let me make sure I get this right. And this ties into my JID analysis as well. Let me see. I'm listening right now. He said, yeah, the city loves sleeping on me, so I'm going in like a hotel. Now, we still use the word like, but going in like a hotel. Now, if he hadn't used the word like, I would give him more bonus points. But using double entendres like that, these speedy rappers don't always do that. And so that brings me, shout out to you for sure. Let me make sure I get your name right too, so that we get this shout out right. Yeah. Drew Verde Music was claiming to be a better rapper than Joyner Lucas, and when you sit down and listen to the work, yeah, man. Yeah. And I have to say this too. TikTok is not the place where you're going to find informed opinions on hip hop. It is mainstreamers who listen to Netspin and Ken Carson and cannot write a bar to save their lives, claiming to be experts and just hating on anything that is of the culture. So if you post your hip hop on TikTok, they're either going to ignore it or they're just going to auto hate. It's important to remember that hip hop, at its core, although labels have made it mainstream, it came from a place like mainstream America was hating on the communities where hip hop came from at the start. Like mainstream America sleeping on black talent, sleeping on hip hop is part of hip hop. So although it's become popular, just like I said before, mainstream America and mainstream mentality hasn't evolved. They're still trained to hate on underground hip hop if it's not given a cosign. So if you're an indie artist and you're putting your music out, don't let them get you down, for sure. You know what I mean? Those comments can be vicious, but you got to remember they don't know what they're talking about for real. Okay, so artist versus artist. Who wins? Kendrick Lamar or JID? Now, my take on JID is signed to Cole, I believe, right? Did I get that right? Dreamville? He's still signed to Cole. Let's look that up. I don't want to speak incorrectly. Who is Jay? Look, I got my little chat GPT. We gonna do that. Hey, shout out to Echo, by the way. AE, who is the rapper JID signed to? Is it J. Cole? Yes, JID signed to Dreamville. And I believe that J. Cole signed JID for a very specific purpose. And I believe that purpose has to do, ironically, with a statement that Jay-Z made referencing signing J. Cole back in the day. He said, somewhere in America, let's see if we can find it. Somewhere in America, there is a kid eating his breakfast, and he is a better rapper than everybody. I'm paraphrasing. And I would rather sign that artist to me than have him become competition later. Let me make sure I get this. Jay-Z, somewhere a kid is eating his breakfast, and I would rather sign him. Let me see. Oh, I can't find it. I can't find it. So somewhere the competition is sitting there leveling up. And Jay-Z basically said, I would rather sign that person than have them be my competition. I believe that was the quote. For the longest, I don't know if you remember, y'all, or you new listeners remember, we wanted that Kendrick J. Cole project, and they dropped music too. Gotta watch out for that. You gotta watch out for that, Colonel Fox 41. You gotta watch out for that, man. For the longest, we wanted that J. Cole Kendrick Lamar project. Oh, let me make sure I go back so you understand. Here's your stuff. You watching me? Hey. You gotta make sure I do that. And I think that J. Cole signed JID as almost a Kendrick replacement, if that makes sense. Now J. Cole doesn't have to go, because I'm sure J. Cole, from what I've heard behind the scenes, there's a couple rappers that they present sort of easygoing, but they're actually incredibly analytical. Whew, that was a close one. That was a close one. Uh-oh. Dang, they sure running up on me. They running up on me a lot, ain't they? Shoot. Dang, I gotta be careful how I play this one. If I would have aimed that right, that would have been over. So, rapper versus rapper. So I feel like J. Cole signed JID so that he didn't have to go anywhere else for a Kendrick level verse. And so when I first heard about, dang, I hate this part. You're just getting, you didn't even get all my stuff. When I first heard about JID, I immediately began to study. And at first, I call it babbling. This happens sometimes with like speedy rappers. Because of the speed, there's not too much like coherent rapping. And I've been studying JID, and he still kind of does that. He raps so fast. Tech 9 would do this too. Shout out to Tech 9, indie icon. But he would rap so fast that the content would be lacking sometimes. Kendrick as well. So we compare it to flow. So Kendrick Lamar versus JID when it comes to flow. I actually would give this one to JID. Well, no, let me think about this. Hold on. Because you have to count the stuff that Kendrick is doing that is like on some Baby Keem stuff. Let me not speak too fast. Flow. Who has a better flow? JID or Kendrick? I want to go with JID. But I haven't heard a ton of slower flows from JID. I've heard a couple. That Isolenta Santa, that's one. Kendrick dropped GNX, and I think that showcases some of the diversity in his writing. He's not foot to the pedal. He's not foot to the pedal. So, all right, upon rethinking, I think that Kendrick might have it just because. I mean, let's be real. We all know Baby Keem was writing for Kendrick. We know that, right? Y'all haven't figured that out? I hope I'm not spoiling anything or anything. We all know that Baby Keem was helping Kendrick with some of those slower flows. You know what I mean? But you got to count Not Like Us. You got to count Not Like Us. So I'll say that. Because we were talking Kendrick versus... Or no, we were talking... who was it last time? Kendrick versus Drake. And it was who had the better flow and blah, blah, blah. And... I definitely did not count Not Like Us like I should have when it comes to memorable lyrics. I didn't count that Woke Up Looking for the Broccoli, Ha He, Keep a Horn on Me Like a Masi. I didn't count that. And for those who didn't know, that's a punch because Kamasi, whatever that name, is a saxophone player. I didn't know that. And that's debatable whether that's a valid punch because you got to look it up. But anyway, all right, so I'll give that to Kendrick. But if we're just talking skill, pure skill, I gotta give that to JID right now. Now, I haven't heard... We can talk about performance. Kendrick, I think, has had bigger stages than JID to prove himself. But what JID is doing with syllables and lyrics is monumental. It's crazy. I haven't heard that done. Now, I'm not going to sit up here and just automatically say that someone is better just because they can rap fast. Because I will say that JID is suffering from babbling a little bit sometimes. What they got going on? Are they under? They must be under. Dude, I'll take that. I think that JID in a battle with Kendrick, I think Kendrick might have a long day. I think that if JID can focus more on clear punches, I think that he will be he might even surpass Kendrick as far as skill. Because JID can definitely sing better than Kendrick. He can definitely, as far as what he's doing with the words, it's pretty high level, complex stuff. But I think that where Kendrick has the edge right now is he can stop all that speedy rapping and hit you with a clean punch that'll have you go, ooh. And I think that JID still doesn't have that yet. I think that's kind of missing from his arsenal. Now, I got to go back and study. I've covered DiCaprio 2, DiCaprio 1. I did just listen to that, the new, what's it called? God Does Like Ugly, I believe. But, oh, he did. Oh, wait. JID definitely said the stick hit through the meat like a shish kebab. So he does got that. He does. Let me, you got to analyze the bars here. But I feel like if JID can work more on stepping outside of that fast flow and punching clean, and also I think where Kendrick has JID is Kendrick has the R&B vibes, or he's got GNX now, which is kind of a slower album. It's not like super foot to the pedal chopping all the time. And One thing that I'll say that JID I think is lacking is that clarity. I listen to, is that a person? What is that? Oh, that's a crypto thing. I listened to JID's new project and it was super fire, but by the time I got done with it, I really couldn't quote too much. Besides that shish kebab bar, I couldn't quote too much. And it was fun to re-listen, it really was. But I think that you trade the ability to memorize with that speed sometimes. And to me, that's not, you don't always want to do that, I don't think. I don't think you always want to do that. Is he gone? Is he out of here? I don't know. I don't see him. Oh, he in there. Hey, he tried. That shotgun reload is slow as a mug. I was wondering where he was, though. He tried it. I think we had the same. He had a better shotgun than me, but it was just luck of the draw, for real. Yeah, I feel like give JID time to work on his alternative bag, his R&B. He can definitely sing. Now, don't get me wrong, because I've listened to that. But I'm talking about, like, from beginning to end, a hit record kind of vibe. Something that everybody can sing and relate to and stuff like that. Right now, it feels like he's experimenting more with the speedy flow, and he's leveling up his punches as far as JID. But in those experiments, it's not always easy to remember what he's saying. And even back when Kendrick was doing Got Me Breathing with Dragons, I'll crack an egg in a basket, you bastard, I'm Marilyn Manson, Havana. Even when he was doing that, he would give you something to kind of slow it down and allow you to memorize. So yeah, I think in a battle, I think that right now, JID would hold his own against Kendrick. But I think that once we started to get into who could master certain styles, I think that in the long run, Kendrick would win. You're not about to go get that stuff? Whoever did that. Hey, I got that. I got that. I got that. Hey, man. Hey, man, you see it. You see it. You know what I mean? You see it. That is all the topics that I want to cover right now. I will be logging off after this and proceeding to chop this up for clips. Dang, man. Hey, I am going crazy, low-key. I am going crazy, low-key. Pow. You know what I mean? If you think they got away with it, they didn't. Karma is beating them up right now for you. I know that sometimes life can feel very unfair, and if you're going through a moment right now where life is just being unfair, you are not alone, and it is unfair what they did. It is unfair. Stay low, keep firing. Enjoy your little moments of peace and tranquility, and just try to upgrade yourself Focus on upgrading yourself bit by bit. Focus on trying to just be a little bit better. Get a little bit more money or a lot more money than you had yesterday. You know what I mean? Oh, yeah, they was lighting me up. And I will see y'all later. I hope y'all have a blessed day, man. Nave out, man.